Hey there, guys. Welcome to episode 62 of the Building in Public series. Today, this is the second part of the automation process. Basically, what you're going to see today is the full design of the form that we're going to use for contact and for inquiries. And yeah, you're going to see us also automate the process as well. Nice and simple, two-step automation, but I thought, you know what, I'll show you guys the full step process. So I'll see you in a minute for the voiceover. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this part two of the automation. Cheers. Speaking of it. Hello guys, yeah, the long-awaited part two is here. Yeah, pretty much what you're going to see today is us fully design out this page here. You'll see in a second that we go back and forth between the designs. And yeah, pretty much what we're doing is we're essentially designing out a form that's been mocked up for us. And to be honest, I love this side of it, this design side of it, because it just makes my job so much easier when someone's already designed it. It's pretty much like a copy and paste. You just have to, put the elements in the right place and, work things out. But yeah, obviously, to be fair, this process I like this whole thing of it because you get a feel for, what it looks like on desktop and mobile and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously, as you guys can see, we're using Elementor to build this out. It's a very good tool to use when you're sort of like dragging and dropping and locking things up. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't choose a different tool to build websites just because I'm so used to building an Elementor. But yeah, pretty much what you're seeing here now is us just making sure that things are laid out properly. You're seeing here now that we're actually building out the full part of the form and trying to get it lined up properly. The only thing that I don't quite like about Elementor when it comes to the design process is that you can't add those things in there where you see like the icon and then the placeholder. And that's the only sort of gripe I think I've got with Elemental is if they could include their icon library in the form fields, I think that would make a world of difference and it would just make the design process much easier. But for now, obviously, again, this design is only the beta side of it. We may not even actually end up using Elemental forms, but obviously it's good to showcase that process of it and that design. And this part here in particular, you're going to see exactly how Elemental works when it comes to adding, custom colors and making the layout process. You can see there, it's nice and simple. You add the four section layout, you just start building. And from that side of things, Elementor is really simple to design with and work with. And yeah, pretty much what you're seeing here is just building that section out, nice and simple. And you can see here it's very easy to do. It's not that hard at all. It's basically just clicking some buttons and moving things in, but obviously designing it in a nice and simple way. You'll see here I'm trying to mess with the layout, the width and everything, and we do actually manage to land on it pretty quickly, which is nice to see. But again, this is what happens when you have a design to work from, right? Really simple and very easy to integrate. But yeah, I got to be honest, in terms of a contact page, when it comes to designing things out properly, the person that designed this really, really put attention to detail and really worked it out. And I got to be honest, when this site is done, and I keep saying this, I've said it in a bunch of episodes previously. This site is going to look $1,000,000 once it's done, and I can't wait to sort of help put my name towards it. You know what I mean? But yeah, obviously what we're integrating here is the email section, the live chat section. Obviously, these versions won't be live yet because that live chat is actually going to be synced up to a AI bot. That again, I don't know what episode that'll come out in, but that's going to be interesting. Coding that, we're going to try and integrate Cursor into that, I believe, because I think Cursor is going to be one of the quickest ways to integrate that live chat feature. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting feature. Let me talk about that a second. So that live chat feature is going to be an interesting feat for me to achieve because we're basically going to be feeding an AI model, like our own language model, a knowledge base full of all the information around GRP cabinets, GRP enclosures, GRP product in general. And we're basically going to make our own in-house AI bot for this stuff, which is going to be really cool. Obviously, again, I do not know how much of it I can showcase because obviously with the info that we have on like order patterns and stuff like that. But yeah, again, very cool tool that we're going to be building. But yeah, obviously, as you can see here, we're just designing the mobile side of it, making sure that it's all sorted properly, making sure that it all works properly. And yeah, I mean, overall, I'm quite happy with the mock-up to the design. It's very cool. Very, like, I think it's near enough spot on. And now basically what you're seeing us do now is start the automation process. And as you would have seen in the episode before this, we're doing, we're using Zapier to build this out. And what I'm actually using the Copilot to try and help me figure out the design pattern of it. I actually, while going through this part, I kind of realized that I think it's a little bit too in depth of what I was asking it to do at this point. Bear in mind, we're only in the beta stages of it. So what I decided to do was obviously I tried to feed it some info to see if it could help me work something out. It did eventually come up with like a suggested zap, but then I kind of realized like, oh, I think we're going a bit too like in detail with it to start with. So what I ended up sort of settling with at that moment was just a very basic, here's the form info, put it into a Monday board. Nice and simple, like we did with the bespoke stuff. I think it was the episode before this. And yeah, I think to be honest, for now, it's just nice and simple and it works really well because it's a nice way to automate the lead flow. It's a nice way to push it to people to to interact with those leads and stuff like that. So yeah, I think overall, like obviously you can see here, I'm reading through it. I'm trying to understand if that is the right thing to do. I do try the other section now. I think you'll see it. I'm actually going through the automation flow and everything like that. There's of a lot of thought has gone into how this is going to work, right? And obviously for the time being, I think you kind of realize this when you go through the whole automation process, right? You realize that sometimes simpler is better. And this is what I'm doing here, right? I'm splitting up bespoke quotes and website inquiries. And how I'm doing that, it's nice and simple, is I'm basically integrating the specific fields, so name, company, email, phone number, message, that sort of stuff, and I'm just syncing up to Zapier, right? Nice and simple. It doesn't overcomplicate things, and it works really well. And yeah, pretty much that's all I really have for today. You've listened to me waffle now for nearly 8 minutes. But yeah, guys, honestly, the automation side of it is really cool. And yeah, I'm hopefully going to come to you tomorrow with maybe a bit more of a finalization on the workflow that we've got because we still have a lot more tasks to do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed me going through the automation process, talking about it and explaining it. But yeah, I will leave you to the rest of this episode now, where we just designed an email template around the form that we're submitting. Yeah, guys, thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you tomorrow for episode 63. Cheers. Bye for now.